What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Third and Longhorn. This week we got an action-packed episode. We're previewing the University of Louisiana-Monroe game, recapping the UTSA game a little, and there's a ton of stuff going on. Before I get started, I'm going to remember to introduce everybody. To my right, I got Derrick Johnson, Fozzy Whittaker, and to my left, Rob Babers and Jeremy Hills. And first off, let's talk about who's not in the room, Mr. Alex Okafor. So let's give it up because Alex has a big week. He's getting inducted into the Hall of Honor. So it's a big deal. How many of you guys are in the Hall of Honor?
I'm in the Hall of Honor.
DJ's in like 3 Hall of Fames. He's like 3 or 4.
He's in every Hall of Fame related to man.
He's like, I'm in that one. I got that one.
Which one are you talking about? Because I'm in a few.
Just the UT one?
What's your memory of that?
Man, it's awesome. Regardless of the accolades and awards you've gotten at the University of Texas, when you get that call that you're in the Hall of Honor, something that'll last forever, your family, friends are able to share that moment with you, and that circle isn't big at all, and especially from a football standpoint, it's a lot of people, really, really good athletes that's played football, and when you get that special selection of being selected into the Hall of Honor, it's a big deal. So it won't really hit them until the ceremony night, but that's a cool moment.
Can I just ask you really quickly? No, I know we were just joking, but okay, how many Hall of Fames are you in? Are you in the College Football Hall of Fame? Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. So
last year, right?
I actually got 5 Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh!
I mean.
Can you list it for us really quickly?
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite?
You know what? The favorite is College Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And you got the Hall of Honor with Texas and Texas State Hall of State of Texas Hall of Fame. Texas High School Hall of Fame.
Boom.
And Missouri. State of Missouri Hall of Fame.
Oh, but then the Chiefs. Okay, I was saying,
I'll be up next
that's
year.
Coming.
Yeah.
I was saying that Chiefs Hall because that's coming. The Chiefs Hall. Chiefs Hall of Honor or whatever it is.
Yeah. I've been blessed.
I knew you were a big deal, but I didn't know you were 5 Hall of Fames big deal.
Big time.
That is awesome, bro. That is fantastic.
He wears a medium now.
I'm sure he wants that out there. Oh, that's amazing. Well, we also got another big bit of news yesterday. We got Fozzy, our very own Fozzy Whittaker is going to be calling the game.
Moving up.
That's big time, man.
I better hear nothing but Third and Longhorn plugs. If
you guys tuned in this week, you would have known.
Last time I get to cover Texas, but
Don't get yourself in trouble doing that, man.
Fozzy on TV talking about, like I said on my podcast.
just selling my own.
Wait, his podcast?
Yeah, right. It's going to be Fozzy.
I do want to say one thing. I am honored in a different way because first year calling games full time, me and Laura Galindo, you typically won't ever see them get the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
And to have the privilege of calling a game for the number 1 team in the country, obviously it's Texas too. The ties are strong. It's also the Hall of Honor induction weekend, like all of those culminating into this Saturday's event. I'm truly proud to be a part of it, and man, I'm just grateful for that opportunity because you don't see year 1 guys get a number 1 team in the country.
Man, that's
incredible. You didn't see
it, brother.
You see it now.
Right. It's happening now.
All right, well, and that's incredible. Third piece of business is we have a birthday today. And
Let's
so,
go.
For those of you that can't see it, we've got coming in behind you, Mr. Jeremy. Happy 40th birthday, man. Like, we're so proud of you, man.
Let's go.
Blow these out before we set the fire
Make a wish
thingies
first.
off.
There he is.
Let me tell you.
I hope he wished for win the title.
Let's get a good shot of that.
Fozzy must have did that. Fozzy must have did that.
With friends like y'all, who needs enemies?
Man, but I think we're going to double down on that because Fozzy's got a little
So
presentation
you got
for you.
one gift. We decided another gift that would be best. If you can put this in a frame, this is back from your playing days.
What is it?
Jeremy Hill's lead rocking in the same class as Earl Campbell.
Man, that was such a great memory.
So one of the perks and benefits of calling the game this weekend was having access to John Bianco.
He got in the archives.
So I went to the archives. I asked for a couple things back behind the scenes. So this is truly one of one.
That's awesome.
Couldn't find it
You
anywhere
know
else.
what, man?
Oh man.
So this is for you to frame. You and Earl, whenever y'all came in the same recruiting class, y'all be able to relish that.
Man, look at that. He's taking that dude out, too.
Bro, that's a pancake block, by the way.
Man. You don't get enough credit for all of what you did for Earl, man. He does not get credit for those planned days.
Okay.
Just don't have a birthday on the day we record. It's pretty much
That's what happened.
Can we?
That's world class.
All right. Can we talk football?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess that's enough of that. Let's get into the action. All right. So,
Come on, man, keep that picture though, man. Let me throw that away. If you gonna throw it away, give it to me, man. Don't throw that away. Seriously, man.
Rod don't frame it.
Okay, I was saying you got some extras, man. You got some
yeah, all right, I'll print some more.
Send that out to everybody.
So
man.
back to football. This week we obviously have University of Louisiana-Monroe. They're coming off of a rough 2-10 year. They've already matched their win total from last season. So they're 2-0. They've beaten Jackson State and University of Alabama Birmingham. They got a brand new coach who came over from New Mexico State. They are currently ranked 112th, and we are ranked number 1. We are a 45.5-point favorite this week. Don't forget the half. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah. Don't forget the hook.
It's a big deal. But I think this game's gonna probably be a lot like last week's game. But let's kind of get into that, and I think a good segue for that is kind of recapping last week's game, and I'll kind of turn that over to Rod.
Obviously, the biggest storyline, obviously coming out of the UTSA game, was the injury to Quinn Ewers, it's an abdominal strain, so it's going to be a week-to-week thing. I imagine Sark has not confirmed it, but Arch is going to start the ULM game. Right? Sark did confirm. We all assume he's going to start that game. And it's getting back to UTSA. One thing I thought was, other than the Quinn Ewers injury, of course, and that's something that, unfortunately, you had to prepare for because of Quinn Ewers' history.
Right.
And Quinn's awesome, but he hadn't started and finished an entire season, game to game, since his sophomore year. And Texas has only had, 6-7 seasons in the last 25 years where they hadn't needed the services of the backup quarterback in some way, form, or fashion. So we knew that was coming, and Texas is probably in a better position than every other team in the country with the services of Arch Manning. But what it showed me in that game was the depth that Texas has. Because at one point, there were guys that started to get nicked up in that game that actually was concerning. Kelvin Banks at one point got nicked up and went down. Malik Muhammad at one point got nicked up and went down. Trey Wisner at one point got nicked up. And exactly, I think I saw Jerry Gibson actually come limping a couple of times actually. And Jaden Blue didn't start the game because he got nicked up in the Michigan game. But yet Texas still almost beat them by 50 points. Guys, I have not seen depth at Texas like this. Without a lot of drop off from the 1s to the 2s, even to the 3s, probably since the mid-2000s. I just don't know if a Texas team has had this kind of depth. You guys were on some teams that had that kind of depth.
Yeah, and what I think Sark said, 77 players played out of 120. That's a big deal. So we're built for the long haul. So we're in this, even though we got the little injury bug. We're built to go far this year, and it's lining up and really good for Texas right now.
Yeah. The easy thing to say is like how impressed we were with Arch. I know we'll get there, but like you guys know, like I know that like majority of the time, the backup comes in and it's like, all right, everybody else, we gotta pick it up.
Pick it up.
Yeah.
It felt like business as usual,
right?
And I mean like not just with the quarterback injury, like you talked about, like man, we lose our probably our best lineman. And boom, offensive lineman didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Right.
Malik Muhammad goes down for a couple of snaps. You couldn't tell.
Nope.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Trey Wise, he's not out there?
Yeah.
You mean, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm just looking at, like, man, now, mind you, I try to be fair. Like, it's not like we're in the Red River rivalry and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just probably not being as exposed as it would probably be in a different scenario.
Right.
But just seeing guys come in and be assignment focused, know exactly what to do. There wasn't any drop off.
Yeah.
There just wasn't a drop off. Yeah. You know, it's one time, and this was probably on QB2, QB1 in that instance, where they brought a blitz from the field with the nickel, and he just didn't see the rotation of the safeties, and they got there.
Yeah.
Other than that, the cleanest game. I think he completed 9 passes, and of those 9, 4 of them were touchdowns.
He was on.
Like like did you hear that? Like 9 completions, 4 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah,
like
legit. The next play after he comes in, touchdown pass to DeAndre Moore.
and then the next time when he comes in, touchdown run.
Two touchdowns in 3 plays.
Yes.
His first 3 plays.
Like
67-yard touchdown.
And I do want to mention about Quinn. When Quinn had a mistake on the interception, the defense responded right then and there.
Immediately.
That was good with 95 making the play.
Alfred
Alfred
Collins.
Collins
Yeah.
making a play on 3rd down. Then we stopped him on 4th down.
Fourth down stop.
That's
Give
big
momentum.
time. That's like, hey,
That was like, to me personally, that was one of the key plays or key scenarios of the game, because we talked about it last week where I was like, a team like this, you come in, wipe them off the map early, they were expecting it, everybody goes home. But if you let them stay in the game early,
You ain't
and
so
they
bad.
that was a momentum deal too.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
moment
So,
for him to get a little
in
momentum.
my mind,
maybe stay in the
my
game,
mind,
but it was
I
like,
don't know
nope.
if it was me just being a little bit, of a pessimist or what, but like in my mind after the pick, I'm like, all right, man, don't let these boys hang around.
Right.
And 4 plays later, we got the ball right
Yep.
back. I'm like, oh, okay, no, we are ready to wipe.
Yeah.
We ready to get rid of them. We have taken that step of we beat teams the way we should beat teams.
Regardless of no excuses.
Yes.
There's no
Doesn't matter who
Backup
it is.
quarterback in there, guys getting hurt. We didn't start our top running back,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
We had
No
every
excuses.
excuse ready to
Yes.
go.
Which has
ready to
not
go.
been the
And
case.
Yeah, and to your point, Jeremy, there were two opportunities like that when UTSA might have had a little fuel, right? A little positive mojo. It was that one when they got the interception, and then it was also when Quinn went down. You know the opposing team's thinking, all right, guys, we got a chance.
Yeah.
Next
Throw the
play.
quarterback.
Boom. Touchdown.
They're like, okay, we're doing
Wait a
everything.
minute. Wait a minute. They were supposed to slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Arch coming there and saying, if you think you like that,
Come on.
here goes some. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's by far the fastest Manning I've ever seen.
Dude, he hit 20.7
Oh,
miles per
it's
hour.
far.
That's what they
I mean,
said.
it's not
yeah.
even close.
No question.
I didn't see Cooper play, but
when he
Seriously.
lined up the safety and broke him down,
No. Gave him
I'm
two.
like,
He could have slid right there. I mean, right.
Or
that
could have
was
just
usually.
looked unathletic.
nobody in the world would have gave him a negative mark for sliding right there.
No.
Nobody in the world. They'd have been like, okay, good play.
Yeah,
good
yeah.
play. He
Smart
said, "No,
play.
actually, I'm going for 6, sir. You're in the way."
no one had
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
no one had 67-yard Arch Manning run for a touchdown on their bingo
that was
card.
not on my
No,
bingo
no.
card.
Nobody in Vegas
To
had
really
that.
think about how impressive that is on any team in the country, DBs are really fast. I'm just telling you, DBs, you
Yeah.
got
He ran
speed.
That's
away
fair.
from 2 of them.
He looked back too.
yeah.
He
No
looked back
angle.
too.
Ran
Denver
away
Harris,
from 2
was,
of them.
Denver Harris was a highly recruited
Right, he's five-star
quarterback.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could not catch him on the angle.
That's the kid that was at A&M?
Yep.
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
North
Yeah.
Shore.
Yeah. No, that
Arch-
boy
Arch
can
looked-
play ball.
Looked
Yeah.
back at him too while he was running.
Yeah.
There's a little.
He's got
Yeah.
swag.
I like it. He does have a
He's
little.
got a little bit
swag.
more. He's got more swag. He's got obviously more mobility than any Manning. I love his instincts though. Just like you said, he's got football instincts. Remember Sark said that. Sark said, I encourage him to use his instincts. Because at times he's a Manning, so he wants to be proficient and he wants to be technically and fundamentally sound. And he's like, no, do all that, but don't be a robot.
Yeah.
Use your instincts, young man. Just like you
Yeah.
said, don't go out there and just try to slide because you're a QB.
Yeah.
You put the 2-piece on him
Oh, my.
and pull it away from him.
Get him
Goodness.
out of there.
But
Bro.
I mean, you guys remember? I remember watching Peyton Manning pull a bootleg at Tennessee, and it was like he was carrying a piano in his back pocket. Like, nothing against Peyton, huge
Peyton
fan.
Green.
But I mean, you watch Arch move, and he's an athlete.
He's an
man.
athlete,
He is
man.
an athlete.
Nah, he out
he's
here
not a stiff quarterback.
Well, he came in as the fastest quarterback. Like whenever they were doing workouts, like he was already a step ahead of everybody else, and that's just going to show you
20 miles per hour, though?
what he does.
20.7?
I want-
the other observation I had is this team is having fun.
Yes.
Like they are
Yes.
loving each other.
Yes.
And it's a brotherhood, and on game day, you get to see the effect and the experience of what they've been through this offseason, what they went through last year, what they went through already 2 games ago. That culminates all in one, and everybody's truly happy for each other's success, because ultimately that means the team's success. And a perfect example is the Ethan Burke touchdown.
Yeah.
Big
Like-
6, baby. Big
Like
6.
all them
Big
cats
six.
that was celebrating with him, Coach Nansen on the field,
Yeah.
running down to the 10-yard line, like that's what it's all about.
And everybody making fun of his belly flop celebration.
Absolutely.
Mad Dog. I know for sure, Fozzy. I know you heard it. You was like a senior when I first got there, so hey, I know he had been saying
Didn't
it
you
for a
come in
while.
before
I know
Mad
he
Dog?
had been saying it for a while.
How many strength coaches have you been here for?
but everyone else, I'm pretty sure y'all heard Mad Dog say this as well. Like, winning is fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Winning is fun. Now, winning has a price associated with it, and that's called that offseason. You know what I mean? Like, you got to earn the right to win. But being on the field Saturday, if you do this right, Saturday is fun. And I think that's what we getting a chance to see. Man, these cats are playing with so much swag. And I was talking about this the other day. There's a difference between thinking you know and knowing you know. And when you look at them, they are decisive. They're not perfect. You've seen times where somebody took a bad angle. You've seen times where somebody hit the wrong gap. They're not robotic and perfect, but they are decisive. They are confident in their decisions. Like, these guys, they know what's expected. They know what their job is, and they know what to do. Right? Now, the part that I really, really, really wanted to see, and I'm happy I've seen it, execution.
Now hold that thought, because we are going to take our first ever commercial break, and for most of you, this won't affect you on the majority of the platforms you're on. But when we come back, Hills is going to talk to us about focus and preparedness, et cetera, and that's actually our topic for First Down. So see you all in a second. All right, we're back with First Down. I'm gonna let you finish your thought, Hills. So we talked a little bit about the important piece to focus on in a game like last week at UTSA was execution, keeping it clean. So take us through that, and take us through what the team needs to be doing this week to be ready for a game that they're favored by even more in.
Right. Now, 7 penalties is not something you really just want to see. 7 penalties, 59 yards. Like, 59 yards of penalties is not what we want to see. It could have been way worse. Man, it could have been way worse, right? And when you're looking at, like, the actual game, I'm like, hey, like, 7 penalties for 59 yards, I'll take that. I'll take it for the way these guys were flying around on both sides of the ball, from the way they were flying around, making plays and playing football, just overall playing football. That's a trade-off we'll take. That's a trade. If it means that, like, guys aren't necessarily worried about messing up, and instead they are playing fast and assignment sound, and a flag happens because that's football, I'll take that all.
Look how many guys you played too.
Right.
A lot of young guys, so you
Experience. That's the
70
thing.
something. Would you say 70?
77.
77 players.
And it's not just guys playing. That's what's impressive. It's so many different guys are making big plays or having moments.
Yeah.
It just,
I One of my favorite plays of the game was the flag, Ryan Wingo.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
my
one?
God.
Yeah.
Which
one?
Right.
Right.
I'm talking about the one, the outbreak, and I think it was the flag where
39,
40 yards.
Like 39 yards.
That was one of my, I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Is that Roy Williams out there?
Man.
Like,
There it is.
You know what I mean? Like, immediately,
fella,
I think for the first time, personally, I understood how big he is.
Right.
And I was like, oh.
Swallowing boy.
Oh, wow.
As a true freshman.
Yeah.
Bro, they built
18.
different.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 31 yards a touch right now.
Excuse me?
That's insane.
He's averaging over 31 yards per touch. He's got 7 targets,
Rod,
7
I love
receptions.
Texas like you do. You shouldn't make things up.
No, I'm serious. He's got 7
That's
targets,
all right,
7
actually, because
receptions.
every time it's
It's a big play.
play.
You know,
got
he's
the
got,
reverse.
he's got,
Even on
hold
the-
on.
yeah.
He's touched the ball 8 times. All right, so 8 times, averaging over 31 yards a touch. Only one of those 8 touches has not resulted in a play of at least 15 yards.
Goodness.
I mean,
That's a disappointment.
It was a 9-yard catch.
and he's one of about 8 guys in that room too.
He's a freak.
Right.
Can we talk about the speed of Isaiah Bond?
Please.
Another freak.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew he was fast.
Yeah.
I said the same thing.
I did this too.
I said
I'm
the
like, I
same
knew he
thing.
was
like-
fast, but
but
I
like-
didn't know he was a burner.
Bro, he hit the corner
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
out.
and was up out of there.
The craziest thing is, I thought, I'm looking at it on TV, and I'm like, oh, okay, in my mind, he gonna get the first, but the ain't.
Right, somebody gonna push him out of bounds.
Oh,
What did they say? 22 miles an hour?
Oh,
Was it
wow.
22? He was clocked as the fastest in college football. He's even faster. Listen to this, everyone. Than Arch Manning.
As hard as that may be to believe.
Man, but they flashed it up in the stadium, and I had no idea. I didn't realize he was a track guy, and I guess I didn't do enough
Georgia.
homework.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like a 100 and a 200 like state
Yeah.
champion in Georgia. And
I knew he was
serious.
fast,
Dude.
but like I know y'all seen The Longest Yard. He made fast people look not so fast.
yeah, man.
He put that speed on display. I've been thoroughly impressed with what Sark has done. And this kind of goes to my point. I was talking with Laura Galindo, who is part of my crew, and we've been together at Longhorn Network. But I said the difference between what Sark has been able to provide versus literally any other coach at Texas is whenever he go into the portal, they hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that he's getting people to fill in spots. No, he's getting playmakers.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely showing up and showing out.
Right.
And you look at A.D. Mitchell as a perfect example last year and the impact that he had. You're looking at Isaiah Bond and Matthew Golden and Silas Bowden this year, Trey Moore. Like, whenever we used to get recruits or transfers in during our time, like they was there to be second, third,
Depth.
Like they was there for depth. They was not viewed as typical starters, and let alone they weren't necessarily game breakers.
Yeah, Sark has plans for those
And
guys.
Sark is freaking
Well, defense
bringing
too.
it
I mean,
in.
they brought in Gavin last year.
Makumba
Like Gavin
is
and Makumba
freaking
this year.
on.
I'm not gonna lie, he's been like the unsung
Oh
hero
my
to
God.
me.
Yeah.
Makumba is like, you know this.
He's a beast.
You know this. A lot of times there can be a gamble made or a DB beat, and there's a guy back there that's so good that he's an eraser. Mm-hmm. He like Makumba's erasing mistakes.
Yeah,
You're seeing quarterbacks sometimes my guy one is right. Oh, never mind.
I can't do
I
that.
didn't know 4 was gonna get there.
I got to make another hit.
You know what I mean? Think about how many times you've seen so far this season that he's either there before the ball or exactly when the ball got there. It's not like it's like this kid is just glue. Yeah. He's just on it at all times. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, this kid is an actual eraser. He's an actual eraser. So, yeah, like you said, Sark he's finding his guys in that portal.
Yeah.
We honestly not giving enough props to the defense because I know we got to talk Arch and talk about the receivers and Sark's offense. It's brilliant. It's great. But this defense has only allowed 2 touchdowns in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
And I believe the 19 total points they've allowed, guys, that's the fewest points allowed by a Texas defense in the first 3 games since that 1983 defense.
Oh, that was Fozzy in them years. Yeah, that's what they was. Look,
I wasn't saying
Fozzy,
that.
I remember that. Fozzy played both sides of the ball. I remember that. I remember that.
Leather helmet.
Yeah, Fozzy, he was going for 150 on offense and 10 tackles on defense.
11 years after Jeremy Hill's first national championship in 1969.
So we've outscored opponents 139-19 through 3 games, averaging 46 points a game and allowing 6 points a game.
Is that why we're the number 1 team in the country?
I think that's not hurting
okay.
us.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
man.
it's everything, right? How often? Listen, we watched Florida State last season as an undefeated team lose their spot in the college football playoff for one simple reason: they lost their starting quarterback, and nationally, everybody looked at that backup and said, "Yeah, man, you ain't good enough, and your team with U.S. starting quarterback ain't the same team."
They didn't lie.
And we all agreed, right? Watching it, that's just, even though they had a resume that was deserving of them being in it, and yet the nation or the voters, whatever, looked at Texas versus UTSA starting quarterback go down and said, "Yeah, that's the best team in the country."
Yeah.
After your starting quarterback went down,
That's a good
because
point.
they watched.
That's a really good point.
Like,
I told my son that.
Unbelievable, man! How does that happen?
Anybody else
Frost
can
asking
go
me the
back.
same
Anybody else
thing.
automatically, he's like, "Oh, that's a
drop
drop
down.
down." They lost the starting
It's like
quarterback.
it's not happening.
No.
I told Frost, I said we wouldn't move up to 1 because we lost Quinn.
Yeah,
And he was like, no, we're gonna be number 1.
Look at that.
you
That
knew it.
kid, no, man.
Because
He's a
I
young
think
prodigy.
that's part of the arch. That's the Manning bump that you get. 5 touchdowns in 29 plays will convince the country that you can still get it done with that guy.
As
when you-
it should, though.
But when you
As
put
it
that in
should.
perspective, think about that. Think about if Georgia lost Beck, right? Think about what people would say. Like, they'd be worried. Like, you'd be like,
big
what's
time.
going to
I
happen?
mean, they
Think
worried now.
I agree. I mean, that's with Beck.
Yeah.
But, like, think if Ohio State loses Will Howard and has to start a younger
yeah.
kid. Think if Ole Miss without Jackson Dart. Like, nobody's even talking about those teams. And it's nothing
Missouri
against them.
without
It's just that
Brady
those
Cook.
quarterbacks are so good, and the depth is just not as deep as
The
us,
last
but
time I've seen anything
insane.
like this has been Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State somehow, some way has kept 2 rooms like just stacked. Their wide receiver room and their quarterback rooms have just been like stacked with talent. Where it's like the next guy up, you start like, oh. And it started with like Braxton Miller, right? And then it just went on to the next guy, the next guy.
Won
the next
national
guy,
title
the
with
next
One
third
year
string
now,
quarterback.
guys.
Tom
Yeah.
Herman called the play.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, what I'm seeing is it resembles that. This wide receiver room is as deep as you can imagine. Like, Lord forbid any of these kids go down that wide out. As a from a strictly a competitive stance, I'm not too worried about Wingo or somebody, a Cook
absolutely.
stepping in and getting more plays. I'm not worried about that.
I'm more worried about keeping them happy.
Right.
That's honestly Sark's biggest problem. I say is like, how do
It's
you
only
keep,
one football, right?
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
keep
That's a good
these guys
problem
happy?
to have.
UTSA and ULM.
Well, let's
Right.
Let's spread it around. Hey, Jonte, it's your game, baby.
You
got it now.
But we
your
talked
two
about that. We talked about that weeks ago. I don't know if it's a single guy that goes for 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns. But I wouldn't be surprised to see 3-4 guys, 600-700 yards.
Right.
You know, 4 or 5
touchdowns
touchdowns each. I'm not surprised.
Their
on
leading
that.
receivers are freshmen. Brandon Rizzo has led you
crazy.
in receiving in
Out of
2
all
of your
those
first
guys.
3
Yeah.
games.
Right.
And it's all because he makes like 2 or 3 big plays, and he's unbelievable. So this is why I feel like this is why Longhorn fans can watch this run that Texas is on and see the longevity of it. And I can relate this to DJ. When I was at Texas, I remember when we started recruiting dudes, and we all knew we was going. We was like, nah, man, we good. We were an 11-win team. We was like, no, we gonna compete for championships. We all got a chance to go to the league. And when they started recruiting dudes who we could watch and go, yeah, they're better than we are.
Yeah.
We're good. But
They got some dudes.
Huff Daddy's gonna be, we're good, but Derrick Johnson's better. We're good, but Roy Williams is gonna be a freak.
Right.
We're good, but Nathan Basher is unbelievable.
Right.
And basically as freshmen, some of those guys.
That's a good point. I
We're
know
all
that.
like him, by the way, like him. They were already as good or better than we were. Like, and we were already like juniors, and it was like that dude's already coming in just as good as we are.
And y'all were going to the NFL.
And we was going to the league. Like, Rob, he was no slouch, but when
Not
Nathan
at
Basher
all.
came in, he was like, I can hold my own with these guys.
Yeah.
And so was Derrick Johnson, and so did Roy Williams, and that's what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
When Colin Simmons is your best natural edge rusher,
Hey.
like,
Yes, sir.
as a freshman.
Yes, sir.
This
Right.
kid-
Okay,
Whose impact gonna be bigger at the end of the year?
Right.
Wingos or Simmons?
That's what I'm saying. That's why the future's so bright, guys.
I would say Simmons.
Simmons,
Yeah, just
because what's that got to share?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Wingo, and this is
Wingo
why.
has
another
Do,
guy.
do y'all know what the second most important position in the NFL is behind quarterback? It ain't defensive end anymore, and it ain't
Center.
No, it's wide
It's
receiver.
left tackle.
Wide receiver. There are more wide receivers making $30+ million than any other non-quarterback in the league, guys.
That's true.
The wide receiver position is making all the money now.
Does that make
They're
it more
making-
important?
Yes, in the NFL.
I don't know, bro.
It does. They got like how many $30 million wide receivers out there? Like 5 of them.
now.
Yeah,
How many Super Bowls has Pat Mahomes lost? How many Super Bowls?
just one.
Which one did he lose?
The one of the Bucks.
How'd they beat him?
Pass rush.
4 quarters. Had Pat Mahomes running all up and
That's true.
Pat Mahomes went every way but forward
I agree with you.
and got mopped.
That's why
because-
that next highest paid guy is that.
It is, but I'm saying there's been a shift though lately, and the shift it just happened like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Right,
But the
right.
NFL's
Yeah.
like, nah, man, wide receivers.
Yeah.
Well,
they matter.
Before
Conversation.
we go to our next break, I love saying that. I feel like such a professional now. But let's we already kind of got into second down about the offense, but I want to hear from you, DJ. What do you want to see this game? Look, we know what this game is on paper, right? And we talked a little bit in a similar way against UTSA. What do you want to see out of the guys this game on the offensive side of the ball?
Just continue to stay the course. Keep a standard. That don't get bored, get better, right? Just
Say that. Hold on, Pastor. Say that again. Say that again, Pastor.
I gotta say it to my kids, man. I got a kid now. That's good.
Don't get bored because a lot of times when you're doing the right thing and things are happening, you're executing at a high level. You know, it's repetition. It's like, oh, I'm keep doing it, and you get bored with it. Don't get bored. Get better because football is a sport that you can always get better. You never have a ride in football, and this Texas team has the depth. It has the coaching staff. It has the players to get better, regardless of we played UTSA last week. We playing ULM this week. Hey guys, that's not the standard. This is our standard. We have something at the end of this rainbow. We have something great, and being excellent, being great is actually exhausting.
Yeah.
So you got to exhaust
Wow.
yourself the whole way through,
Yeah.
and then you can rest after you raise that trophy. Not that I've raised the trophy. I wish. Man, you know what? I'm bitter, man.
Bro, like y'all over here
came
talking
out
about
too
Pat
early.
Mahomes. And the Chiefs.
I mean, I
It
came
was
out
at the wrong time.
wrong time. 1 year.
Come on, Pat.
I'll say this,
No, I'm
DJ.
talking about
I'll
him.
say this, DJ. Like, to your point, I was thinking about that exact same thing. I was like, man, how do you keep this team locked in, focused, and motivated, right? And I thought about it. I was like, the way this is shaping up, there's been something to hang on to every week.
Right.
We go from first game of the season, you don't got to be motivated to play the first game of the season.
Right.
To, all right, you got the defending national champions, you got to go up there and handle that.
Yep.
To, all right, people are saying that's a fluke, you got to beat a bad team the way you should. To now, hey, man, you the number one team in the nation. Everybody got their eyes on you.
Mm-hmm.
To, hey, bro, they said you couldn't play in the SEC. Let's find out. To, hey, it's the Red River rivalry. We owe them one. To Georgia coming to town.
Yeah.
Like
that's the difference.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like
Yeah.
the psychological
Week by
part
week.
of football. It is it's tough being locked in every week.
Yeah.
But it's just seeming like it's shaping up to where there's a reason. Not that you need a reason. You should just be a pro about it.
Right.
But there's a reason every week where you you got to prove it.
Yeah.
You got to prove it. And I think Sark he's obviously proven that he's been able to do a good job of getting his guys like locked in, prepared, and ready to play football.
Yeah.
It seems to me from the outside looking in, we got a lot of reasons to play. We got like a lot of reasons to play. Like you know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons to want to be locked in on the game this week.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go to our second ever break now. And when we come back, we're going to get to third down and talk about the Texas Longhorns on defense. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Third and Longhorn, everyone. We are covering the Texas versus University of Louisiana-Monroe game, and we're just entering third down, about ready to talk about the defensive side of the ball for Texas. So, Fozzy, I think going into this, I watched two of their games. It's tough to figure out what they are. They're obviously more of a running team than they are. Mm-hmm. They've got a young running back who I believe I still haven't figured out what the situation is with Hunter Smith, who was their running back, who was supposed to be all conference going into the year. But they have a kid, Ahmad Hardy, who stepped up and played well. What do you want to see from the defense against ULM?
Yeah, number one, like you mentioned, ULM, they feature the run. That's what they're about. I mean, even the last game that they had against UAB, General Booty, the quarterback, only threw for 87 yards passing. And they beat UAB.
He threw 87 yards.
The entire game.
Former Oklahoma Sooner, General Booty.
Yeah, General Booty.
I knew he had to beat them somewhere.
We know who General Booty is.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we get to hear Foz cover the game and keep saying General Booty.
I'm going to say it as many times as I can. General Booty. General Booty drops back.
Not exclusive Booty, just General Booty.
And Booty was sacked.
I'm gonna have a bingo card the whole game. Got that one.
But we know the identity is get Hardy the ball, right? Get Jones the ball. They got a three-headed running back room that they like to utilize. And all three of those guys, Curry is the third one that transferred in from UAB. They all bring a different skill set to the table. And they might look at the game like, hey, there's some blood in the water. Whenever you see Texas get out of position on the corner blitz, Jahdae Barron comes in, Bender and the D-line weren't able to be on the same page.
Yeah.
That was a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only touchdown that Texas gave up. That's the only weak link that Texas has shown on defense in 3 games was that big, long touchdown run.
Yep.
Now, I don't think ULM has the skill set or the size or the skill level to be able to actually mash on Texas in the way that they've been able to mash on Jackson State and UAB. But at the same time, Hardy's probably thinking in his mind as a true freshman, bro, I can make my name right here.
Man,
I
stop.
can be the dude.
Cut it out. Hardy ain't slept in a week.
Hardy
ain't slept in a week.
He ain't
He
slept.
was stressed before the last game thinking about this.
He ain't
Look,
slept. You're right. As
Hardy-
a true freshman, it's going to be big trying to take
The
in the
truth
environment
is
of Big
Texas
KR.
coming with that belt. They coming with that belt.
The king of the bulletin board material. Like Hills is gonna
Why
get
you
our
giving it to
Hills is
us?
gonna get
I
our
know.
show
I'm sorry.
catered.
I'm sorry.
He laying it
I
up.
John B. Uncle
apologize.
sent us a note like, hey,
Yeah,
they
I'm
listen to y'all up there,
sorry.
man.
I
We got-
apologize. All
Not
I'm
even a
saying
cease and
is,
desist, just a cease.
listen, ULM. Texas told you to be in before the light came on, and you was outside playing too long. They coming with their belt, okay? That's the truth.
That's going to be the mindset. I'm not going to lie.
So
Yeah.
that belt gonna be on General Booty? They
They're
gonna put that belt on
gonna
Booty?
put that belt on
That
General
belt
Booty.
to booty.
Belt to Booty.
It's belt to booty for 4 quarters, man.
You can use that one on the
Yeah,
broadcast.
There we
Fozzy,
go.
you can use that free of charge. Belt to
I'ma
booty
get in
for
trouble.
60
Show.
minutes.
Yeah, don't do it, pal. Don't do it.
you got?
But ULM needs to make this game shorter, right? right? They
Yeah,
have
that's
to.
exactly right.
They can't give Arch and
They gotta
those
minimize
guys back the
possessions.
ball. Yeah, you gotta run the ball. Maybe get third and manageable. You know, you don't want to get in third and long. We're gonna come get you at that time.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna get the crowd into the game. Booty may be on the ground, all that stuff. So that's
Booty all over the place, huh?
booty on the ground.
Booty on the ground. Booty everywhere but the
It's
end
too
zone.
easy. It's too easy.
Booty everywhere but the end zone.
But
Too easy.
again, we're Texas, right? Regardless, this year, us being number one in the country, we've been had a target on our back. This is not new to us. So them coming in here, they wanna. I'm not saying that they're not trying to win, but they can get a moral victory out of
Yes,
this, right?
exactly
You're
right.
30
Yeah.
to 6.
Oh yeah,
They're coming out. Hey guys, we're on.
a huge win,
We're
right.
in the Sun Belt Conference, but we're getting better. Look what we did with the number one conference,
First year
number
head
one
coach,
team.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first year head coach. But Sark and the guys, they should have another plan, and that plan will roll over UNLM.
Yeah, I think
ULM.
the thing that's gonna hurt ULM also is that Johnny Nanson's influence on the defense, guys. We've seen
That's
this
big
defense
time.
is
We
truly,
don't say that
it's
enough.
a truly
That's good.
multiple defense
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
We've seen them kind of shape shift, right, and transform week to week. Against Colorado State, they broke out the NASCAR dime package with the 3 high safeties on them, and against Michigan, saw them break out a 3D tackle package with the bare front at times and the penny front. I mean, every week there's something new. Even this week, I saw them use a lot of on third downs against UTSA. A lot of 3 high safety looks.
Yep.
You probably noticed that guy. A lot of 3 high. I was like,
Colin
man.
Simmons moving all over the
Yeah,
place,
Colin
too.
Simmons not just pass rushing, but they basically use him as a sandbacker
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So they're gonna have something that they'll be able to adjust to in terms of modifying the defense, so it fits and counters what ULM does well. And I think that's really it's gonna be hard for ULM to come out and be able to diagnose and exploit a weakness against Texas, because they're gonna shift and morph. They're so versatile week to week at shifting and taking away a team's strength.
And here's where you see the versatility actually play out into how that directly correlates with the defensive success. Is this Texas team already has 5 interceptions, right? Yeah. They've had one every single game, multiple picks against Michigan, and it's just going to show you how that versatility, where they showing it, you don't know where they're going to be at.
Yeah.
So for General Booty, right, you got to figure out, is it 3 high? Is it 2 high? Is it 1 high?
That's true.
Who's actually coming? Now, O-line going to have to figure out
And I was
which
about to
guy
say,
block.
now how much time you think he has to figure that out?
Oh, it's not a lot of time. Well, they know that, though. That's why they run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
That's not the forte of their offense,
Right.
because they don't want to feature General Booty dropping back as a passer.
Right.
So you're going to feature your 3 running backs because that's what your offensive identity is. But the times they do get in third and long, because Texas ain't giving up them runs like that.
Nah.
General Booty, it's going to be tough for him to find who he wants to go to and it make an actual impact on the game, because a lot of stuff going to have to come out quick, and it's going to be before 10 yards.
Agreed 100%. And I see, like, similar to Michigan, the style of play that ULM wants to enter this game with
Exactly.
is just
Exactly.
going to expire faster than you want it to. Because
great
if you
way of
can't
putting it.
establish it, then you have to change the style.
Yep.
You know, styles make fights, like they say.
Yeah.
You down by 15 early, and at 15, you down by, now we down by 27. Hey, we can't just keep turning around and handing the football off.
Yeah.
Like that's unless we just saying that we lay down.
Right.
Yeah, and if you saying that we just gonna say we lay down, then this is
I
gonna
was
get
about to say,
even.
they might.
Michigan
This
did
is
it.
gonna get even uglier
might.
because that seeps into the players, and then you're gonna see it on the field, and now you're just gonna see everybody's laying down, and that's when you got people doing belly flops in the end zone with the football. Right.
Scoring 50
The
something.
last 2 times we faced this team, the combined score, gentlemen, was 111 to 30.
Which, when I did my research, I actually found out that you were in that game in 2009. You were in that game.
His second time
and
at college.
his second stint, and Okafor was in that game too.
Hey,
But, yeah.
nice. There you go.
But that's my point, is that like listen, I was being funny early, but I wasn't lying.
No.
The truth is they expect to get spanked, and we gonna spank them.
Yeah.
It's not. I love to make.
Well, bigger, faster, stronger, right?
From what I've
yes.
seen of the guys in burnt orange, I can trust that they're going to show up with a point to prove. I can trust, and I'm very confident that they're going to show up as, hey, for anybody who thought that we weren't number one, let me show you.
Yeah.
I got 60 minutes to change your mind. I think that this is going to be one of the ones where it's like, oh, this got ugly fast, and it just keeps getting ugly. Yeah. And then we talked about it. You brought up the point of that next generation that you can look at them like, those guys are itching at the bit right now.
Yeah,
they want to get in.
You do.
They want to play. They want to make plays.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like DJ comes out and then I come in. No, I'm coming in locked in, ready to go. I
gotta leave my mark.
I know the score say 35-0, but it's 0-0 in my mind.
Yeah.
I think we have that like type of competitive depth.
Yes.
And so I don't see it. I don't know if they score at all.
And I actually credit that to the coaching staff on the sideline, coaching the players all the same, because and holding that high standard and expectation. When that second string or third string guy go out there, regardless if it's on defense or offense, that guy is humming. And if he's not, he's like, hey, y'all, you got to get out. We getting somebody else in.
Yeah. I got baby All-Star, baby Colin Page.
Get him.
I call him baby All-Star.
I like that. Nice.
Well, let's flip to fourth down before we wrap here. So I want to give everyone the most important segment we always need to have in here is the special teams prediction, and I'm generally focusing on the kickers. So ULM comes in with Max Larson, who is 6 of 7 on extra points this year. So Bert's already got him there because Bert doesn't miss extra points. And but he is 4 for 4 on field goals with a long of 40. Bert currently sits at 19 and 19 on extra points and is 2 for 3 with a long of 45. So highly anticipated kicker battle. I will say all this success in the red zone has been very frustrating for my Bert Auburn fan club because we are not kicking field goals this year.
But we get an opportunity to see him on the field a lot more.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, it just feels like we never get that moment where he's warming up for the big kick where you see his hair and all that. It's just that's a little frustrating. And look, I'm not going to complain too much because I like this whole winning thing and being successful in the red zone. But anyway, let's move to our predictions, and I'm going to give it to DJ first. So I need your score prediction for the game, Derrick.
Score prediction. I'm going with Texas 55. ULM 6.
You got them 2 field goals, huh?
Yep.
I'm going 59-3.
I was thinking something along that.
I already own it.
I have 52-3.
That's good.
One Bert Auburn kick in there.
Okay. I got one more touchdown.
I'm going 57-0. I'm going another shutout. I'm going 2 shutouts in the same season. I don't know that. Look, what's the last time that happened? We got to do some research.
That's a good question.
Ooh.
Because I think we might get it, man. 2 shutouts. You know they're rare, so I'm going 2.
57?
56 to 0.
56.
56-0.
Thinking when I think about this, and I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
Like, because QB1 to QB2, we can.
Bro, we can't put triple digits on the score.
No. What I'm saying is, part of it is you up by 40. It's all right. Let's grab these starters out, right? But then Arch was coming in, and it's like, there go more points.
I got
like,
you.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Okay.
Now it's gonna be Arch was up by 40. He comes out, and then
Trey Owens, man.
Trey Owens has to prove
that
he can go down and do that, right? So for that reason, I'm not gonna say 100. Okay. For that reason.
This is that guy going for 2. He's going for 2 on these guys on every.
Right. Wait, time out.
16-0,
Did
24-0.
y'all see Major Applewhite score almost 90 points?
Man, and get about running the football.
Man,
That's right.
They're running the ball on him, man. It's crazy.
But for that reason, I'm gonna say I think it's closer. I think it's like 52-0.
0.
I think ULM comes to Texas and leaves Texas with the same amount of points. Yeah,
I would have loved to have been in the defensive huddle there about that touchdown last game because you know the coaches are just wearing the guys out because they're trying to figure out what to focus on because they're like, well, we only allow 1 touchdown, so let's give it to them. So
let's wear them out.
Yeah,
come on, man, cap integrity, guys.
You gotta keep your
just
wearing them out for like 2 things.
He just keep rewinding, talking about this ain't gonna get it done. We can't win like this.
Trying to find other things that they messed up.
We can't. Starters. What do we go over? What was the call?
Well,
what's film guys? They're like, find something bad. Just find something really bad.
But even what's impressive with with that run, they still were like 3.8 yards a carry, still under 4 yards. Like with that one big run.
Yeah, without that play, it is crazy. Like there's just been a few plays and a few drives this year that have accounted for most of what's happening. It's awesome what's happening on defense. I love watching it.
It's next level.
I hope they score 100. But like, yeah,
So
yeah,
mean.
52,
Like Derrick said
52
last
0.
week, be respectful.
Yeah.
And then Derrick's like 65-0.
Having to that be respectful talk, DJ. Yeah. But no, I can see 50. I can see 52 blank. I can see 52 blank.
All right. Well, this has been awesome, guys. This was fun. Looking forward to the game. We'll be back with another post-game show right after a live one. And like I always say now, if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, follow us, share it, comment, do any of that stuff. It all helps us. Follow us on social media at Third and Longhorn. Hook 'em.
Welcome.